Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Team Adventurous. Majorkill come out with 2 new videos. I wanted to react to them both, so we go do that. I'm gonna have to He dropped this one today. How did the God Emperor react to Guilliman's resurrection? And I'm really interested in finding out because the Emperor kind of dead. So
yeah,
just kind of.
G'day, guys and gal. The resurrection of Guilliman was the biggest event in Warhammer 40k lore since the Horus Heresy. It took the galaxy by complete surprise. All prophecies and predictions were instantly cancelled, with even the most twisted future. Was the biggest event in Warhammer 40k lore since the Horus Heresy. It took the galaxy by complete surprise. All prophecies and predictions were instantly cancelled, with even the most twisted future seers of the warp being blindsided. That it was coupled with the fall of Cadia as well as the creation of the Great Rift added that extra spice. After all, if the galaxy hadn't just shit the bed, then the arrival of G-Men and his Primaris would have pretty much spelt GG well played in favour of the Imperium. Needless to say, there was a lot of different reactions. Most of them were surprised. I've actually made a video already covering what the galaxy's reaction was, but I didn't include the Emperor in that video, who had a very strong and very interesting reaction. So I thought I would give him his own video. After all, it is the Emperor. Before we get started, there's more to
the Emperor's dick. And then he goes into a Manscaped ad, which is just perfect.
Dick without dusting it up. Although that is pretty great. But did you know that Manscaped is a brand without is the Emperor? Sashimi. Although that is pretty great. More to Manscaped than just shaving your dick without dicing it up like sashimi. Although that is pretty great. But did you know that Manscaped is a
what? Sashimi or
I think he means chopping his dick up like sashimi is pretty great.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Grooming products. A badass single-bladed razor that gives you a clean, rash-free finish. Ball deodorant that eliminates stanky dick. Body soap and hair wash that smells like...
Bro, if you ever have stanky dick, you need to shower more often.
Right. Also, having 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner is very bad for your hair.
Like, I use it so much I can't even show you what it looks like because I just ran out. Roll-on deodorant that leaves you feeling and smelling fresh all day. The only thing they need now is Manscaped mouthwash and toothpaste, and I'm done. That's everything. But the hero of today's partnership is the new breathable anti-chafe smooth boxer.
Yo, shout out to the man with the pistol squat. That shit's hard.
They feel great and look great, having a variety of designs that show you new business. Everyday use. And you can get
your back is way better than his, though.
Bundle. Then to get an even bigger discount on the bundle, as well as every single Manscaped product, then use my link and code MAJORKILL for 20% off.
Like from ankles to neck, my back is better than his.
Yes.
Shipping. Cheers to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Today we'll go over how the Emperor reacted to Guilliman's resurrection and why the reaction was such a big deal. Let's get into it. Before I get into the juicy flesh meat that is the love handles of this video, you're probably thinking, isn't he just a stale piece of beef jerky by this point? And you'd have a fair argument. The Emperor hasn't been in the chatty mood since he was low-key murdered and put on a life support system that...
He was only low-key murdered.
Only low-key murdered. Not like totally murdered.
But we all know the Emperor's might comes from his soul and not his decrepit body. After 10,000 daily psycho-sacrifice and becoming one with the Astronomicon, his soul is burning brighter than ever and is the main thing keeping the Imperium together. As such, yes, he does have a degree of consciousness and can react to shit. However, that doesn't mean he can do it easily. When his body was shattered, so was his soul and consciousness. It's now heavily fragmented, meaning he struggles with coherent thought. He is no longer human and presents as such, acting more on omnipresent instinct rather than a structured plan.
What was that?
I said, yeah, because that happens when you get murdered.
The human spirit is a hard thing to kill, even with a chainsaw.
For example, when he created the living saints to help counter greater demons, this probably wasn't a grand plan or human thought. It was his godlike instinct to help mankind. I'm not even sure he was aware he created the living saints when he did. Likewise, he has occasionally blessed or even low-key possessed various humans at times to guide them towards achieving a goal, generally that goal being thwarting chaos. However, each of these actions requires a shitload of willpower and effort from the Emperor. He really struggles to pull himself together, or at least he did until Guilliman returned. Now, since the Great Rift opened at a similar time to G-Man's revival, the reaction he had took a blend of both events. Firstly, he was like, holy fucking shit, the galaxy just shat the pants, dude. He decided the Great Rift opening, actually knocking him out for a bit, turning off the Astronomicon and dooming countless people. He was able to turn it back on after about a month, but since time across the galaxy gets a little funky, for some people this took a century or more. However, when Guilliman busted 3 nuts to get to Terra to speak with his father, the Emperor was pleased. No, the Emperor never really considered the Primarch's sons, only forming that bond with them as a form of manipulation.
What was that?
I said, yep, because that's the requirement.
To be honest, he kind of
3 nuts to get across the galaxy in 3 nuts. A satirical take on The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which was already a piece of satire.
Presented them and their need for glory and recognition. So when the Emperor saw G-Man, he reacted as if he had just found a long-lost favorite tool. Guilliman was a bit offended because, a bit emotionally vulnerable after waking up to find the Imperium a toxic, superstitious mess and having just fought as well as a massive Cornite invasion. Guilliman would go on to describe their conversation like talking with a star instead of a human. The gist of it was that the Emperor was shitty and dying, but hadn't yet
He's like, I'm conversing with a big ball of gas.
I'm conversing with a giant ball of fucking hot fart gas. That's how I feel about you, father.
Right.
Guilliman to take command and do his best to save mankind. We don't get to see the full conversation in the lore. However, an absolute fucking legend by the name of Balam95, probably not his real name, made a fan fiction of the conversation, which fits in extremely well without sucking off his own dick like so many fan fiction writers end up doing. Most people that have read it are actually surprised to learn that it's a fan fiction if they didn't read the small print. In saying that, the fan fiction has kind of become no longer relevant, as recent lore in the form of Godblight shows us some of the convo. In that, it has Guilliman asking for guidance, while the Emperor has a fucking aneurysm and just keeps saying contradictory things. He eventually is able to pull himself together to tell Guilliman that he is mankind's last hope in his own weird way, which is, no pressure, G-Man. Fair enough, the fan fiction
no pressure
are very similar. The only big difference is that in canon, the Emperor is an absolute mess and struggles to articulate his message, whereas the fanfiction has the Emperor as fully coherent but cynical. Both are good, and I'm recommending checking them both out. So that was the Emperor's initial reaction to Guilliman's resurrection. He was pleased but cynical and fragmented. Guilliman was disappointed by the encounter and shocked by how cold and damaged the creature he called father actually was. The Emperor did give Guilliman his flaming sword as a badge of office, and also because it's fucking awesome, so there's that at least. But wait, there's more. G-Man then goes off on his Indomitus crusade, the galaxy claps cheeks, then goes to Ultramar to fight Mortarion. Now, G-Man should have learnt from the last time he fought a demon Primarch that he isn't the greatest duelist on the best of days. Hence, Morty gains the upper hand and injects Guilliman with the Godblight, a virus that can kill even a Primarch. And it works. Guilliman rapidly deteriorates, shits himself, and dies.
He survived!
Unlike the last time, the Emperor directly intervenes and saves him, instantly curing him of the Godblight, possessing his body, smacking Morty for being a naughty boy, before then setting Nurgle on fire for a laugh. Why the fuck didn't he pull this shit before, I hear you ask? Well, here's the ironic thing about the opening of the Great Rift. Sure, it flooded the galaxy with warp energy, meaning demons were stronger and more present, and psychers increased in power and instability. But guess who's the strongest psyker of them all? That's right, the God Emperor of man-fucking-kind. The warp energy that flooded into his cosmic bones has allowed him to reunite his consciousness with significantly more ease. It's still difficult for him, but the fact that he can instantly cure the most horrific disease in the galaxy and then bench Nurgle is quite the step up from just sitting there and silently screaming all the time. The Emperor intervening like this, even to go as far as to call Guilliman his son again during the intervention, represents a dramatic shift in his attitude from when he first saw the Lord of Ultramar. When they first met, the Emperor was like, yeah, sure, do whatever you want, who the fuck cares, we're screwed anyways. But now it's like, holy shit, this blonde boy is actually doing it. The motivation of seeing Guilliman work so hard to save the Imperium, combined with the extra warp juice he now has, gave him the will to fight. Like, as he is possessing Guilliman, he speaks of things that were previously seemed totally impossible.
He went from, yeah, you can take my sword and go try to shave this fucking shit show and do whatever, man. It's good.
Yeah.
To, yeah. Whoop his ass, boy.
Demon Primarchs of their corruption and restoring them to their former forms. He even tells Nurgle that he's going to straight up murder his ass. So, yeah, the Emperor isn't fucking around this time. A few people aren't super keen on the fact that the Emperor can now just seemingly save the day at the last minute, giving Guilliman a ton of plot armor. But here's why what happened is actually fine. Firstly, Chaos pulls shit like this all the time, reviving dead champions, teleporting champions to safety at the last second. Fuck, I mean, even the demons will always regenerate when the plot demands it. Secondly, I don't think this will be a regular thing. The Emperor likely had to clench real hard to pull this off, and the duel happened during a moment in intense warp spaghetti. For example, Nurgle literally manifested to watch the Emperor talk shit. So if there was ever a time when the situation was suitable for the Big E to make a clutch save, then it was now. If it does become a plot device where G-Men can now just Leroy Jenkins at Demon Primarchs no worries, then yeah, that would be retarded. But Warhammer writing has been pretty solid lately, so I doubt that will be the case. Guilliman is the only one who the Emperor has been helping. The emissaries Imperiatus Custodes, who usually just sit around and jerk off all day, were told by the Emperor to help him and act as heralds who would drop off the Primarchs to the various minor chapters. Previously, it would take them years of meditation and discussion to determine if the Emperor just did a fart or a burp, but since he was able to communicate with them much more clearly and concisely. Knowing all this, it can genuinely be argued that the Emperor is back. I do like how the writers have changed the setting from the inevitable defeat of the Imperium to the Wild Wild West, where either mankind could now achieve a total victory or the Imperium could fall tomorrow. It makes it a lot more spicy. Well, at least until the rest of the Nids show up and devour everyone. Right. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be. Only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of fun little drawn images that you should not show your kids ever. More reactive content. Join the Discord for more memes and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
By the way, I sell porn.
I sell porn. I sell porn. Hey guys. Guys. I sell porn.
Voice?
What?
Are you gonna do it in the prime rib voice?
I just did.
It was prime rib light though.
Okay, fine. You do the prime rib voice.
Well, I can't.
Exactly. 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 Get shit on. Your ass. Your ass. This has been Team Adventurous.
Yeah. Welcome to the adventure.
Welcome to the adventure.